What is good? Yeah.
What's good, everyone? What do you mean?
Look like a Ninja Turtle. What is good, everyone? It is your favorite multi-cardboard selling producer, Izoki. I'ma show you how I made the beat for this song right here.
Meterán en lo de nosotros porque yo quiero ser tu testigo. Esto no es un secreto, es un amor en privado.
Let me take you through it, take you into my screen, and yeah, let's go. Also, the link to join my Discord community, Izoki Chord, is going to be down below. If you're creative, if you're a musician, artist, producer, or you just enjoy the creative process, experiencing it, learning anything, growing as a person, link down below to join. I'll see you there. Let's get on with the video. Much love. The first thing that I started with was a super dope emotional synth melody that I got from a one-shot. I didn't even use a majority of VSTs in this beat, alright? Just to prove that you don't need all of these expensive sounds, you feel me? Most of this was comprised fully of one-shots, right? So, this first sound, I started off with some chords. I just got the rest of the melody in my head. Dun 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 dun. Something emotional, but really synthesized, you feel me? So I just clicked in the notes until I got what was in my head, and I got this. A simple chord progression, some transition notes. That's the main melody. Effects, just some EQ, cut out the unnecessary frequencies from colliding with the other sounds and the artist's vocals, and some vintage verb, which is just a reverb, very popular reverb. A lot of producers use for a reason. It's really good. I just like to put reverb on one-shots because though one-shots are really good and convenient, they do lack the character that sounds from VSTs use. So in order to make up for that missing character, I just add some reverb and some chorus. Now congratulations, you have a sound that sounds like it's from a VST, but really it's from a one-shot. Then I added this key. I just copy and pasted the chords from the main melody and strummed them to this key that I got from another one-shot. Copy and pasted, played around with the velocities a little bit more just to make it different than the original, because it'll be way too artificial if everything just sounds exactly like it was played the same. Copy pasted, messed around with the velocities, added a few notes here and there. That's it, bro. There's really no rule, honestly. It was just doing what sounded right to me. Effects for that, EQ, self-explanatory, and Portal, which added this dope type of sound. You can't really notice it unless like you really listen to it, but I promise you it's there. It adds that little character that really makes the biggest difference, that adds that extra life to the sound. Next, I added the sub bass I got from what? From a one-shot. I just followed the root notes, added some slide notes here, just so the notes transition in a cool way. And I got this. Effects for that, EQ, just cut out the unnecessary highs so the highs don't collide with the other melodic elements. Since this is the bass, I like my basses to be predominantly in the lows, so I boosted the lows and cut out a majority of the highs. Added some thermal, which is just a really cool distortion, and some OTT just to bring it to life a little bit more. I didn't add too much because if I added too much, then it would have just overtaken the whole beat. That's really it, bro. Those three together, you get the first three melodic main elements. Before that, the actual start of the beat sounded like this. which is just the synth without the top line melody, just the chords, and this vocal that I got from Arcade, this one. Effects for that, some EQ, some reverb to add that character to the vocal, and some OTT to bring it to life in the mix. And this like reverb you hear in the intro, that's coming from Drip. I used the Drip plugin and put the drop preset on it, which is basically just like a shimmer effect, but like, I don't know, just a different type of shimmer effect that just generates cool intros. I really liked it, so I put it on. And this effects thing right here, just to add some variation, some life to the beat, and this riser to transition into the actual beginning of the song. Next, I added these two snare patterns, basically the same pattern, just a little bit different in the end for both. One of them is a perk, one of them is a normal snare. Put both of those together to fill out the frequency spectrum a little bit more. Just a cool little detail to start adding the rhythm to the song, because we have the melody, right? Now with the snares, you got the rhythm. You can start getting the bounce. And then added this cool little transition right here to transition into the chorus. Now the chorus, super simple. The synth and the bass, you already heard it, but now I added these bells, which is just the main melody, the top line melody from the synth, and I put this on a bell from Electra X right here, which, as you see here, it's literally basically identical to the top line melody from the synth, except I layered the notes on top of one another and mess around with the velocities, so it makes this fuller sound, you feel me? Because without the layers, it would sound like this. Sounds good, but you could tell something is missing. So I just layered it, put it up an octave, and I got this. Nice full sound. Put that on top of the synth and the bass. Simple. Effects for that, EQ, self-explanatory. Cut out the unnecessary lows so it doesn't collide with the bass and the lower harmonics, such as the kick. This hyper chorus, which is a chorus, put the mix down a lot, just kept it super subtle. This is a native plugin to FL, completely for free. If you have FL, don't sleep on this, highly recommend it. And this delay eternity, which is just a delay. I just added some delay to the bells just to fill out your ears a little bit more. Personal preference. Those three together, you already heard. Now the drums. You already heard the snare. Super simple reggaeton snare pattern. Then a kick drum on the 4 on the floor. Super generic, you've heard it before many times, I guarantee you, but the real bounce is established in the rest of the elements that you put in. So I made sure to keep it simple, keep enough space for the artist not to get overcrowded, you feel me? So I just added this open hat, another open hat hitting on the 1, then this percussion, kept it really subtle, but not subtle enough to the point where you can't hear it. I just panned it around your ears so it fills your ears out a little bit more. And this hi-hat, instead of adding a hi-hat, I made sure to keep this one a little bit more rhythmic, less. I wanted to keep it simple, but at the same time not too generic. I made up for this empty space by doing this. Went into here, went into the wrench, then went down to here, feed, put it up a little bit, ping pong on, and it made this cool delay. So now all the drums together with the bass. Now with the melodic elements. So now for the verse, as you see here, the key, then the drums come in like this, right here. I kept the verse super minimal so the artist could have enough space to try different flows, harmonies, y todo, you feel me? I made sure to keep it simple, but at the same time, I kept it full. For the second part of the first verse, I added this dope little Vox sample, which I really like to add in a majority of my beats, just to add a little bit more character, just to pick it up a little bit and add a new element that wasn't in the beat before. Then after that, kind of the bridge right here. It's kind of like a long bridge, so it transitions to this. Key, bass, and just added a majority of the percussions. Got rid of the low end of the do, do, do. Make sure to keep the bounce going with the percussions. Then brought back the kicks. Added this FX, the impact, the whoosh, and the riser to signify that the chorus is gonna come. Chorus, heard it before, so no need to go over that again. Mixing on the drums, honestly super simple. Nothing, little to nothing, to be honest with you. The snare, just cut out the lows so the snare wouldn't collide with the kick and the bass. The box, just a little tiny bit of reverb, stereo shaper to spread it around your ears more, because since it was leveled really low, I made sure to have it be present but at the same time not overtaking everything else. And then the open hat, just add some chorus. I like adding fruity chorus to my open hats. I don't know why, I've just been doing it for a long time and I like it. It adds a little bit of character to open hats. Then the perk, reverb, some brighter, which just makes the higher frequencies brighter. ECQ just makes it a little bit more filtered. And the stereo shaper to spread it around your ears more. That's it. Nothing on the kick. Little to no effects on the majority of the drums, because it's all about sound selection. Just choose drums that already sound good, that are already good, at least decent, alright? So you don't have to worry about making them sound good during mixing. Save yourself that time and effort and energy, and just choose good sounds to start off with. Makes everything so much easier. So now this was basically a bridge to the bridge. I really don't know if you understood me or not, but I'll explain it to you. So this was basically just a build up to this, which was a build up to the chorus. So now I kept it super simple, right? So what makes you think it's gonna stay like that, correct? But I kept it like that, kept it super bare, super minimal. So when this drops, you're like, whoa, that is really cool. Let me explain to you how I got this. Kept the bass going, and then I added this new element called a lead that wasn't in here before. I got it from Omnisphere, a lifestyle did it bank. Sounded really cool. I liked it. So this is the pattern I got for it. But keep in mind, this is not the pattern that you hear playing in the bridge. It sounded pretty cool, right? But I just felt like it was a little bit too bare, you feel me? So I added the shaper box beat repeat 2 preset to the bass and the lead, and it gave it this cool like repeating effect. And this, I just added a drum loop from a kit in my folders. I just dragged it in there and it worked. Then I added a 2-step hi-hat pattern just to pick up the pace a little bit. Then here at the end, I sliced up the drum loop a little bit. And then it drops back into the chorus, bro. The outro out of the whole beat by itself was my favorite because it ended like a movie. So how did it end like a movie, you might say? Well, I got rid of the top line melody, just kept the synth chords, added the vocal. But now by adding the bass and adding this cool like sidechain effect from Portal, 4th shape pan, bro, just listen, man. And that's it. I really enjoyed making this beat, to be honest with you. After I made it, I just knew that I heard this man on it. Shout out my boy Killer's Old. The song's really dope, honestly. I like the beat by itself, so I just knew that with his vocals, it was just gonna be a certified hit. I really enjoyed it, enjoyed the song, enjoyed making the beat, enjoyed hearing his voice on it. And as you saw here, bro, just keep it super simple. This looks like a lot, but it's all about putting each individual step together in the end. I got all of this by having them all together here in the channel rack, and then I didn't separate anything and organize anything until the very end when I had everything. So there I could pick apart each individual sound, right, and just like mix and match. I just mixed and matched, followed my intuition. It's all about following what feels right to you. I didn't follow a formula or anything. If you follow a formula, at that point it's not art anymore. You're not expressing yourself anymore. You're following basically rules. You're following a multiplication process, which is that art? Absolutely not. Don't think about formulas. Just make sure that you do everything with intention. Be intentional. My intention was to have an artist on it. So that was my only intention. Everything else, just follow through. All right, don't think. As crazy as it sounds, don't think. All right, just go with the flow, be present, and enjoy the process. Mix and match. It's all about trial and error, but most importantly, doing what sounds right and feels right to you. I mixed the beat, I sent it to the artist, and in a matter of like less than 24 hours, I got the song back, and the song was born. You feel me? So it's incredible how music is made and how we can really make music with anyone in this whole world now. Shout out the internet. It's a blessing to be able to do this, to be able to create music like this. This is how I create mine, and I only show you how I make my music, so maybe you could learn something to use in your own and make your journey a lot easier. But yeah, I'm gonna play you guys a song now, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you have an incredible day or night wherever you are in the world. Make sure to stream it everywhere because it's out everywhere. I'm gonna leave the link down below so you can listen to it, add it to your playlist. If not, then at least you learned something, hopefully, from this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Much love. Izoki out.
Estoy harto de la toxicidad, de la gente que nos mira con envidia nada más. No nos querían ver juntos por no podernos igualar. También me cansa de que todo el tiempo quieran opinar. No saben cómo soy contigo, ni cómo tú eres conmigo. Ni familia, tampoco amigos. Se meterán en lo de nosotros porque yo quiero ser tu testigo. Esto no es un secreto, es un amor en privado, donde solo ven lo que nosotros mostramos. Nadie sabe cómo en realidad nos amamos. Que se quede así, el resto van pa'l carajo. Si nadie sabe será mejor. No hay relación de tres, hables de dos. Nadie se va a meter entre tú y yo. Te voy a cuidar en cuerpo y corazón. Eres mi luna y yo soy tu sol. Me iluminaste cuando todo oscureció. Reviviste algo que en mí murió. A ver, para que entiendas de otra manera. Contigo florecieron sentimientos marchitados y encontré mi alma que la había extraviado.